Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are going to get started. Fanny Guibouret, who is, this is Fanny right here. She is what we would call a lifer in the United States. She has been working with Hyatt for her entire career. She is now general manager at the Hôtel du Louvre, which is a 5-star property that has recently been renovated, and it's not very far from here. And she actually began her career with Hyatt as a catering sales manager at the property that is at Charles de Gaulle, the Hyatt Regency at Charles de Gaulle. And then she went to Morocco and spent over 9 years climbing the ladder at Hyatt, at the Hyatt Regency in Casablanca. I encourage you, if you speak French, to go on to YouTube and find the TEDx talk that Fanny did about this time in her life. It's an absolutely fantastic story. And Fanny is now a member of the Hyatt Corporation's Global Diversity and Inclusion Council. And it is in that capacity that she's going to be saying just a few words to us this morning. So without further ado, welcome, Fanny.
Thank you. So, why has the Successful Woman event been created in 2019? Why do women in executive team account for an average of only 16% in the US, 12% in the UK, and 6% in Brazil? Why do we still remain underrepresented at the top of corporations? I will never forget when I have decided to embrace a new role in my personal life and adopt on my own my first daughter, my vice president's first comment: she will never be a GM anymore. Now she has adopted, it's too late. She should have waited to be a GM and then she could have had plenty. Too late. I will also never forget when a hotel's owner rejected my application as a GM, not because of my gender, not because of my daughter, not because of my limited experience, but the fact that I had chosen to be a single mom, and that was not possible. I had indeed chosen to be a mother without a husband, and for this owner, it was an issue not to have a husband to look after my child. But there are signs of improvements. That's the good part of it. Minds are progressively changing, and hopefully, future generations will not have to go through the same outrageous situation as I did. Diversity and inclusion are becoming key topics on many executive agendas. Companies are working to create more diversity within and outside of their organizations. They are doing so for mainly 2 reasons. First, because it's the right thing to do, and secondly, it makes business sense. Companies in the top quartile for gender diversity outperform their competitors by 15%, and companies in the top quartile for ethnic diversity outperform their competitors by 35%. When employees believe that their organization is committed to diversity when they feel included, their ability to innovate increased by 83%. Greater gender and ethnic diversity in corporate leadership doesn't automatically translate into more profit, But the correlation does indicate that when companies commit themselves to diverse leadership, they are more successful. And this is when women are finally becoming key players. While we were in the past often perceived as an issue, as a potential threat, somehow, we are now looking at differently. Our behaviors are now studied, our needs are being analyzed, and we are even being chased. No later than 2 days ago in France, I don't know if you've heard, but for the first time, we have had the results of the first Gender Equality Index, which was launched by the government last year. So things are finally moving forward in France. And at Hyatt, our CEO, Marco Plamazian, as Monique said, has launched last year the creation of the Global Inclusion and Diversity Committee. We are 31 members around the world, and we have been commissioned to elevate D&I around the world. D&I goals have been clearly distributed to all regions, and for the very first time, and it makes me very happy, in 2018, more women than men have been promoted to a GM role in the EME, Europe, and Middle East Africa region in Hyatt. So it's I think it's the first time ever. While most companies are making efforts to include women in senior leadership roles, what about you now? What are your dreams? What are your career expectations? Do you foresee obstacles? Do you have role models? What do you expect from employers? What do you expect from managers? What do you think will make you successful? At Hyatt, here are some few tips that we give to a woman. Be open, don't limit yourself. Be clear on what success means for you. Be frank to address your career goals. Be ready to change your career goals over time. Be willing to learn continuously. Be mindful of and use your strengths. We have a lot that men not always have. Be a role model. Be aware of your ability to inspire others. Be assertive and believe in yourself. Be you, and don't believe that you have to choose between career and personal life. You can have both. Thank you.